with this vaccine, and by the way, it's probably going to kill him, or it's probably going to give him, make him autistic. I'm not going to say that. They're gonna dress it up and make it as pleasant. No, it's perfectly harmless. Why? Because that's their money.
Warning: this may cause bleeding from the eyes, bleeding from the rectum, bleeding from the nose,
right.
bleeding from the
may
teeth,
cause
loss of
anal
consciousness. So no, I'll keep the sniffles this season.
Right?
I'll let me pass on the death part.
Man. It's the bottom line is it's obvious just from this article alone by Dr. Richard Pomante that more. This whole thing needs to be revisited, and there needs to be more tests, studies done by unbiased panels. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Impossible, because the panel gets paid off, which is why I want to be on this show for as long as possible, so we can enlighten the listener to question it. Because collectively, you, the American people, when you question something as a group, therein lies the power.
Right.
The power is in the numbers.
Right.
One lone wolf does not tear apart a whole herd, whether you guys want to be compared to sheep or not. Me personally, I don't. I feel like I have horns, so whatever animal I am. But collectively, you are the people. You make the rules. You're not subject to anybody.
Right.
You are the government. You elect people that represent your ideas. And if your idea is to be pumped full of experimental drugs that aren't proven so that people can profit off of this experiment, I don't know what to say.
Right. Yeah, you're throwing, and hey, if you're gonna throw yourself into it like that, God bless you. Go to town, but don't drag the rest of us into your suicide pact with you. If we're not interested.
Yeah, legislation to force you to do something experimental.
Right.
And that's a little bit creepy. Is that Orwell touched on that or something in 1984?
Yes, he certainly did. And that goes right back to what we were just saying. Bottom line is, look, if you think this stuff is going to protect you, great. Go to town, knock yourself out. You know what? Then don't worry about whether or not I take it, because guess what? You're protected. You're good to go.
Yeah, you're safe. Don't worry about me. Whether I live or die doesn't matter, unless I generate revenue for someone, then that's a different story. Anyway, trying to apply your worries and your dilemmas upon other people is a very unhealthy practice. Let me just throw that in there. Trying to compare your struggle and your fears with someone else's and passing legislation to enforce that is unproductive as well. And that's why we have a lot of these silly rules that we do now. But, imagine, let's say that I bench on any given day 350 pounds. So I think all of you should. I'm going to apply my success to all of you. You all have to bench it. What happens when I drop 350 pounds on the average person's chest?
The chest gets crushed.
Oh, well, then you were weak. It's not my problem.
Right.
No, you can't apply what you can do and what you believe in to other people.
Right.
And, therein is one of the beefs
well,
that
that's why we're not right, and that's a perfect example to segue into the fact of just kind of taking the opportunity for a second to educate people in the fact that we are not a democracy. A lot of people love to throw that around. Oh, well, we're a democracy. This is supposed to happen, and that's supposed to happen because we're supposed to be a democracy, and we got to go invade this country and that country to bring them democracy. Little newsflash
for freedom.
Right. Little quick newsflash. We are not a democracy. We were never designed as a democracy. A democracy means majority rules. Democracy means if 51 out of 100 people says that you should sacrifice your firstborn child, then the other 49 people have no choice but to sacrifice their firstborn child. That's a democracy. I don't know about you, but that's not the kind of world that I want to live in. We live in what's called a republic. Actually, it's called a constitutional republic.
Constitutional republic. Look it up. It's true story.
Beautiful thing. Yeah, and yes, and that's perfect what you just said. Look it up, because I'm not going to get all into that. I just wanted to throw that in there because I get really aggravated when I come across people who we're a democracy, we're a democratic society. No, we're not, dummy. We're a constitutional republic.
And you know what? And I'm actually going to correct you on that, Robert. We're working our way to a democracy.
We're working our way to... No, we're not. Actually, I'm going to correct you on that. We're working our way to an oligarchy.
Yeah, let's not get too deep for the people, but man, I definitely look up anything we talk about. I promise you I want to be proven wrong.
Right.
When I started this journey of thought process and philosophy, and in my case, religion and theology played a big role in it, and politics, I I need it to be proven wrong. I wanted to understand everything from every angle, and I encourage everybody to do the same. Don't take my word for it. If you can prove me wrong with hard facts, I want to be corrected. If I'm wrong, I want to be corrected. Right. Please.
Really quick, guys, also, because we got about 10 minutes left, I wanted to let you know that this is actually a 2-part episode. I should have said that in the beginning. So I know that I said before that we were going to be extending the show to an hour and a half. I haven't gotten around to upgrading the system yet. So it still technically is an hour and a half, but right now we have to break it up into segments. So we're doing 2 45-minute episodes, 45 minutes now. Then we're going to take a break for about 10 minutes or so, give or take, and then come back with the second half of part 2, the next 45 minutes. This one mostly covering vaccines and the article written by Dr. Richard Pomante. The second part 2, will mostly center around a YouTube blogger by the name of Bert Powers, and we will have him on the phone as a call-in guest to kind of air his opinions about the current state of the world. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that. So please, we're about 9 minutes away from this part 1 ending, so please stick around and come back about 10 minutes after that for part 2 of Let's Talk Freedoms. And so that's it for that. So you were saying?
Oh, I was on a tangent.
And I
research everything. No, it's great.
Yeah, no, that's definitely is. Please, anything that we talk about, look it up for yourself, research it, and if you come across something that contradicts what we say, please, by all means. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We encourage dissension. That's why I say, follow us on Spreaker so you can chat with us live on air. Send me emails to my email address. Send me messages to our Facebook. If I'm wrong, prove to me that I'm wrong. If Joseph is wrong, prove that he's wrong. Or if you agree, let us know you agree and why. But look up things like what a democracy is. Look up things like what a constitutional republic is. Look up what an oligarchy is, and that's probably most important because that's where we're headed, if not already at right now. We're at a scientific, technological oligarchy.
Inspire your friends to understand these things as well. I'm assuming that most people listen because they actually relate to what we're talking about. But eventually, our audience is going to grow to people like me who listen for just a different angle on information.
Right.
But encourage your friends to look into these things, man. You make the difference in the world. Everybody makes a difference in the world to the people directly around them. We use this as a venue to reach more people than one at a time, but you yourself, you have so much power. There are people that trust you, and if you have your information in line, the conversations will come up. What do you think about this? Well, a lot of my friends were pro-Obama, and I'm like, look, I could have believed in the guy if he would have kept his promises.
Right.
And so that's if his very first actions took me off course. Yeah, I'll give anybody a chance. And and I can explain why with rational reasoning, not, I like him.
Right.
I just like him.
I like him. Well, why do you like him? I like him because he's black. I like him because he talks real good. I mean, it's like, but give me a real, legitimate reason that I can't contradict as a lie.
I had a woman say, I think he's so sexy and attractive, that's why I'll vote for him again.
Right. Right.
Well, that's a great reason because we know that sexy, attractive men never do wrong.
Right.
God, if you could see our faces right now. So, research it all. Research corporatism. One of my favorite conversations to have with somebody is when they start bashing capitalism. I'm like, okay, do you even understand what you're saying? Mm-hmm. And this is a very good topic for forever and ever and ever with what goes on with people in this nation and how they hate the government or they hate the people with all the money or they hate Wall Street. Listen, capitalism has nothing to do with those things. Do a little bit of research, and let me ask you, as a person, what are you worth? What is your hour worth? What is the set pay that you want to be stuck at for the rest of your life? Pick right now.
Go.
Crickets. Okay, I can't do the cricket sound. We got it in there somewhere, but
I gotta have that one ready next time.
Yeah, man. And nobody knows what that set rate is, but they hate capitalism. They know that. So you're telling me if you work harder, you still don't want to be paid more because you despise capitalism, right? Or if you educate yourself and you find a niche, something you're good at, you want to give it away for free. That's what you're saying, right? But you hate capitalism, and people, they're so caught up in a word that they don't even understand for themselves. Just research it. Now, the truth is, there's nothing wrong with capitalism. Corporate monopolies, there's something wrong with, and they're illegal for a reason. They always have been. We changed the name of that. We changed the words around, and people get lost, and they don't understand what that actually means. When corporations come together and they become this huge entity, they not only control and manipulate the price of everything, but they raise it on purpose to degrees where people can just barely afford something, and it's legal. And a capitalism and a free market, anybody can come along and say, why would you pay $10 for that? I can produce it right now and give it to you for $3. But when corporatism happens, they block out that little guy. They team up with politicians. They pass legislation that doesn't allow that guy to even exist in the market. And that is where we're at. And that is why the price is so high on everything. So you hate capitalism? You hate free market? It doesn't work? No, it doesn't work as long as the bad guy is in the seat, controlling it and manipulating the prices upward, which has nothing to do with capitalism. It's an illegal corporate monopoly.
Absolutely. And
it's illegal.
And we control those outcomes with our wallet. If we vote with our dollars, and we see evil corporations that are doing unscrupulous things, whether it's monopolies or funding the military-industrial complex, whatever the case may be, it's up to us as sovereign citizens to vote with our dollars, and that's how you that's how you combat evil corporatism. I recommend to people to watch a show that I recommended to you and you're big into now, called Continuum, which if you have Netflix, you can find it on Netflix, and it's an excellent show. It gives a perfect example, and it gives an excellent example of what direction the country will head into if we allow corporate monopolies and oligarchy, which are one and the same, to run rampant, where you'll see that the corporations and the government become one and the same.
And it gives different angles of the possibilities as well, which is great. But that's where we're at now. Everybody knows by this point that politicians are inside someone's pocket. You know what I mean? Somebody's paying for these politicians to go forth and pass legislations or not pass legislations. So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. This is where I like Bert, because Bert uses that term a lot. He's like, it's just smoke and mirrors, man. The real subject at hand is being hidden. And, the core subjects need to be paid attention to.
All right, so, and on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up part one of Let's Talk Freedom tonight. The name of this show was Dr. Pomante's vaccine article, etc. Part two will be conservative YouTube blogger Bert Power, so make sure you stick around for that. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Willpowered Fit Training. Find them online, www.willpoweredfittraining.webs.com, and of course Helios Microwater, you can find online, www.helioswatergroup5.webs.com. And I'd like to also thank once again Dr. Richard Pomante for donating his time and his article to the show, and of course thanks to Grindstone for donating the music, which you're hearing right now. It's a song by Grindstone called Control. Find us online at talkfreedom.webs.com. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you stick around for part two.